To open the show, though, Alex, last night was a big game. It was the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. Vegas fall in the shootout as they did the San Jose game, so they leave 2 points on the ice. So their playoff hopes are technically still alive, but the math is no longer on their side, aka the worst thing in sports, they no longer control their own destiny. If Dallas earn a single point in their final 2 games, they clinch. They have to lose both games in regulation, and Vegas need to win both their final 2 games for the Knights to make it. For anyone who doesn't know, tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights play the Chicago Blackhawks, which you could see them getting a win there. However, the Dallas Stars play the Arizona Coyotes, which credit to them. Arizona did beat Minnesota last night, but then they also play the Anaheim Ducks on Friday when Vegas take on St. Louis. It doesn't look good for Vegas, Alex.
It doesn't look good for Vegas. So I was just thinking, imagine, and I'm just creating the scenario in my head. Obviously, it can't happen because this player's not on that team anymore. But imagine if Fleury wasn't traded at the deadline, and we're in this situation, and essentially, like, Fleury would play a extremely big role in Vegas's playoff hope. I think that that'd be quite a story.
Imagine Alan Walsh's response and his tweets about it if Fleury just puts on a game and stops it. If only. But hey, he's in Minnesota. Minnesota, by the way, my dark horse to win the Stanley Cup. My dark horse. So, I'm saying that even after the Arizona game, I like what I'm seeing from Minnesota. I really like them a lot. This is pretty bad for Vegas. Listen, they've had Mark Stone back. How healthy is he? We wonder. Pacioretty came back a few games ago. Hasn't been quite scoring as much. He's never scored in the big moments, though, as Habs fans, though. First off, Robin Lehner is officially now done for the season. It sounded like apparently Vegas said, hold on a second, because there was some cap issues, along with what we talked about last episode, which is kind of weird. More cap issues. You love to see that. He's done for the season. League. Oh, great. Fantastic. So they're done for the season. Sorry, they aren't. Robin Lehner is. Do we think he's done in Vegas overall? Because that's a sense going around right now. Because it doesn't look like this season ended very well with the relationship, or at least between him and Pete DeBoer, head coach.
So that's where I think the factor for me is it a thing between the coach and the player, or is it a thing between the organization and a player? Because remember, they brought in Robin Lehner, even though, like, yes, Marc-Andre Fleury was struggling at the time, but Marc-Andre Fleury was their guy. And they still brought in Robin Lehner and decided to extend him. Yeah, I understand, like, they've had things in the past where they've signed guys and ended up letting them go. But I don't know. I'd have to know that first, but I think if it's a coaching thing, and like, again, I said last episode, I don't think that's working. I don't think the coach and the team are meshing, and I just, it doesn't seem like the players enjoy, like, his playing for Vegas, and his quotes don't really help him either. DeBoer's quotes don't really help him in the public light either. So if DeBoer still coach, I think I think Lehner is done with Vegas.
I do have one quote actually right here, and this is in regards to Robin Lehner. Jesse Granger put this out. It would have been yesterday. Pete DeBoer and Robin Lehner being out for the season. Quote, the announcement speaks for itself. I'm concerned about the guys that are here battling with us here tonight. Some people took that as a veiled shot at Robin Lehner. I'm not going to go that far. But saying that, battling with us here tonight, if I'm Robin Lehner, I sort of feel like, you really? It's not like I've been battling with this injured shoulder, I think it is, for the past month or something. I'm trying to battle and you're just throwing me under the bus. I mean, Pete DeBoer doesn't do himself any favors. And I continue to say the man does not know how to manage goaltenders.
And I guess with that quote, maybe it's a bit of a stretch to say it was specifically going after Robin Lehner. But I think it's fair to say that quote, the way he said it, I think the way it came out was a little unnecessary. Like, I
Could you
get
not
the
have
point he's
said we
making.
appreciate Robin battling? Like, would that have been so hard?
Right. Like, in any other way, like he said it, I think it felt to me like in the worst possible way. And you know, like, yeah, no, if you're gonna do it, like, be like that, then no, Leonard's done. I would be done. I don't like.
Well, it just doesn't. He's. I feel bad for goalies in Vegas. Just feel like they've never really been appreciated over there, which is rich considering the story of how their goaltending magically saved them their first year and got them all the way to the Cup final. And even when Fleury was down, remember the legend of Maxime Lagacé or Legacy, whatever. People said it so many different ways. Oscar Dansk was playing games and they were winning. The thing that their team really helped them. Oh, my mom's just let my dog in. Hello, Carrie. The parents from Carrie the Golden Knob. Hello, Carrie. How are you? She continues to ignore me, kind of like how Vegas ignore the responsibility of treating their players with respect. You know who else I feel really bad for, by the way, in the world of goaltending?
Who?
Thompson. Because after both those shootout losses, that kid looked like that he was like carrying the weight of his shoulders. And he was in both those shootouts, both the San Jose one and in Dallas. He only allowed a goal in each. And it was Borderlow, and then who had the Dallas one? Heiskanen, who I was amazed because Heiskanen never finishes in the sweet fake backhander, which was nice. But I feel horrible for that kid because it feels like he must have the weight on his shoulders right now.
And they're putting him in an extremely difficult position where he's letting in one goal, and the team in front of him, who I think we've all praised. I mean, I've praised many times, is not doing the job that they're there for, and so it must be extremely frustrating. And it's not like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Logan Thompson should not be the one who's backstopping this team.
I just want to quickly get his numbers up because last time I checked, he was at a 920 save percentage. He's down to a 918, but that is still this year is almost elite goaltending the way this season has gone. So I mean, that guy, he's been doing his job. You know who hasn't though, and you know who I don't feel bad for? Jack Eichel. So there was a little video that was going around that he's going, and the rest of his teammates, they're consoling Logan Thompson, right? Consoling Logan Thompson. And he has this thing of he rolls his eyes, right? And he did the same thing towards the end of regulation. Here's the big problem I have with Jack Eichel, right? Rolling your eyes at your goalie, by the way, who feels like he probably single-handedly lost you his season. I think it was just insensitive. It's not what a leader should look like. Jack Eichel, who was the captain of the Buffalo Sabres, I'll remind you. This is a guy who at the end of regulation took a garbage roughing coincidental call. In his last 5 games, by the way, I will point out he has 1 point and it's an assist. This type of time of the year, I get he didn't have a training camp and all that. Didn't score in either of his shootout attempts. I'm just saying that Jack Eichel right now is a massive disappointment. And I think more stress needs to be put on the fact that that guy is just not mature enough right now. He just isn't. And 100%. If I'm a Sabres fan right now, I'm laughing at it.
Sure.
I don't like him.
And those Sabres fans should also recognize that it was the failure of their organization. Yeah, he was a captain. Yeah, he was handed $10 million. Let's remember who handed him $10 million, and let's remember who handed him the captaincy. 100%. I'm not defending Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel should be blamed for lots of this, along with the rest of the guys on that team who are getting paid. But let's not pretend like the Buffalo Sabres put Jack Eichel in a good situation at all. Surrounded by what? Nothing. A bunch of young guys.
The thing that gets me is the eye rolling when, like, in that moment with your goaltender. It's just, what are you doing, man? That's a moody teenager move to do. Like, come on, what are you doing right now? Is this the image you want to give off?
Sure, I'm not disagreeing with that. It was immature, but I don't think it's fair for the guy to come in who's played 32 games with the organization. It's not like he was brought in and he's the leader of that team. They have how many captains? They have 3 other captains that I can think of off the top of my head. Stone, Pietrangelo, Pacioretty. He's not the leader. Like, I get it. And they should be the ones talking to him now and saying, you can't do that. But he's not the leader of that team the same way that Buffalo threw him the captaincy and said, here you go. Here's a bunch of other 20 something year olds and kind of figure it out.
McDavid was drafted before Matthews, right? Like year wise. Before. Obviously, they were the year before Matthews.
Yeah.
Okay. So Matthews has been in the league a shorter amount of time and he's got much more maturity to him.
Look at the players he was surrounded with and look at the general manager the first 3 years of his, or 2 years of his tenure.
That's a fair point. I'll give you that. I wouldn't roll my eyes over Lamoriello either. That's fair.
He wasn't even allowed facial hair, let alone imagine rolling your eyes with and Mike Babcock, and say what you want about Mike Babcock after the fact, but like it's Mike Babcock.
I don't like your family. You're not playing.
Right.
Listen, I'm just like last point I'm making on it is listen, Eichel, you've been in this league a long time. I'm not giving you crap about the surgery or whatever. That was your choice. That's your body. I'm completely fine with it. But listen, you're in a market that demands excellence. You are a hell of a player. You do make the money. So I'm not blaming you for taking the contract. I would take an $80 million contract, but do you know what? The standards are there. And an assist in 5 games for the most crucial parts of the season is not good enough. Listen, just stop rolling your eyes. That's all I want. Don't roll your eyes to a goaltender that is on the brink of tears. You know me. I'm a goaltending guy. I don't like blaming goalies. I don't like what I saw from Jack Eichel. But I mean, it's looking at Vegas as a whole, though. It's safe to say people said that San Jose game was pretty much the dagger, not getting the full 2 points. But losing to Dallas and not getting that additional point as well, I think it is not looking good. I think it's fair to say that, barring disaster, the Vegas Golden Knights are missing the playoffs for the first time in their short but colorful history.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said before, it's not even in their hands. If Dallas gets a single point tonight against Arizona,
pretty possible.
It's I no offense to Arizona, but like that's very likely.
And then Anaheim to fall back on,
right?
Which is, with all the subtractions they made to core players at the deadline, it's a shame. It's a shame. By the way, so I was shocked because I've been paying so much attention to the NBA playoffs. I took a night off of watching basketball last night because I'm like, do you know what? I want to give my full attention to this Anaheim game, right? So I did not notice until the last few minutes that Arizona were winning and then beat the Minnesota Wild. I was not counting on that. But this sets up tonight, if the Montreal Canadiens lose in regulation to the New York Rangers, then the Habs have clinched last place. So let's go Rangers. I can't believe I'm saying that. But let's go Rangers.